Jake Morrison wiped the sweat from his forehead as he checked the medical equipment one more time. The cargo ship New Horizon was quiet tonight. Most of the crew was sleeping, but Jake could not sleep. Something felt wrong, though he could not say what. He was 28 years old and had been the ship's medical officer for 3 years. Before that, he was a combat medic on Earth during the border wars. He had seen many people die, and he had saved many lives too. Space was supposed to be peaceful compared to those bloody wars, but Jake always stayed ready for trouble. The ship's alarm suddenly rang loud and sharp. Jake jumped up from his chair and ran to the bridge. Captain Amy Foster was already there, staring at the main screen with worry in her eyes. "What is it, Captain?" Jake asked. "We picked up a distress signal," Amy said. "It's coming from about 2 hours away. The signal is weak, but it's definitely a ship in trouble." Jake looked at the screen. He could see a small dot blinking red in the darkness of space. "Do we know what kind of ship it is?" "That's the strange part," Amy said. "The signal pattern doesn't match any human ship. It's alien." Jake felt his heart beat faster. In his 3 years on the New Horizon, they had never met real aliens. There were stories about other species in the galaxy, but most humans had never seen one. "Should we help them?" Jake asked. Amy was quiet for a moment. "Yes," she said finally. "If someone is dying out there, we have to try to help. That's what humans do." 2 hours later, the New Horizon reached the alien ship. It was unlike anything Jake had ever seen. The ship was long and thin, with a purple color that seemed to glow in the starlight. Strange symbols covered its surface. "It's beautiful," Amy whispered. "It's also badly damaged," said Commander Ben Hayes, the ship's security chief. "I can see holes in the hull. Whatever happened to them was not good." Jake put on his spacesuit and prepared his medical bag. "I'm going over there," he said. "Jake?" "Wait," Amy said. "We don't know if it's safe. We don't know anything about these aliens." "Someone over there sent a distress signal," Jake replied. "That means someone is still alive and needs help. I took an oath to help people no matter who they are." Amy nodded slowly. "Be careful. Take Commander Hayes with you." Jake and Ben crossed from their ship to the alien vessel through a connecting tube. The moment they entered the alien ship, Jake knew things were very bad. The air smelled strange, like flowers mixed with metal. Emergency lights flashed red everywhere. Bodies lay scattered in the hallways. The aliens looked almost human, but their skin was light purple, and they were taller than most people. Their bones seemed to be made of some kind of crystal that caught the light. "They're all dead," Ben whispered. Jake knelt down next to one of the bodies. The alien wore fancy clothes with gold thread. "These look like soldiers or guards," he said. "See the weapons? This wasn't an accident. Someone attacked this ship." They moved deeper into the ship following the distress signal. Finally, they reached a large room that looked like it might be the captain's quarters. In the center of the room, on a bed covered with soft purple cloth, lay another alien. This one was different. She was smaller than the others, with longer hair that was almost silver. Her clothes were even fancier, covered with jewels that still sparkled despite the dim light. But what caught Jake's attention was that she was still breathing. "She's alive," he said, rushing to her side. The alien woman opened her eyes. They were bright blue, almost like Earth's sky. She looked at Jake with surprise and fear. "Please," she whispered in broken English. "Help me." Jake was shocked that she could speak his language. "Don't worry," he said gently. "I'm a doctor. I'm going to help you." He quickly examined her. Her pulse was weak and her breathing was shallow. Her purple skin was turning pale, and she felt very cold. "What happened to you?" Jake asked. "Poison," she said with great effort. "My uncle tried to kill me. I escaped, but the poison is winning. My people call it the silent death. There is no cure. How long do you have?" Jake asked. "Hours, maybe less," she whispered. "I am Princess Lyra of the Zephyrian Empire. My father is the Emperor. I was running home to warn him, but I will die here, alone." Jake looked at his scanner readings. Her blood was definitely poisoned, but there was something else. Her entire immune system was failing. It was like her body had given up fighting. "There might be a way," Jake said suddenly. "What?" Princess Lyra asked. "A blood transfusion. If I give you some of my blood, it might help your body fight the poison." Ben grabbed Jake's arm. "Are you crazy? You don't know if human blood is safe? For aliens. You could kill her." "She's already dying," Jake said. "Without help, she'll be dead in a few hours anyway." Princess Lyra looked at Jake with wide eyes. "You would risk your life for me? A stranger? An alien?" Jake thought about all the people he had saved during the wars. He thought about his oath as a doctor. He thought about what his mother had taught him when he was young, that helping others was what made someone truly human. "Yes," he said simply. "It's the right thing to do." Princess Lyra smiled weakly. "Your species must be very brave or very foolish." "Maybe both," Jake said with a small laugh. He prepared the transfusion equipment from his medical bag. Ben watched nervously as Jake inserted a needle into his own arm and another into the princess's arm. Slowly, Jake's red human blood began to flow into the alien princess. "Will it work?" Ben asked. "I don't know," Jake admitted. "I've never tried to save an alien before, but I had to try." Princess Lyra closed her eyes as the blood transfusion continued. For a moment, nothing happened. Then slowly her pale purple skin began to return to its normal color. Her breathing became stronger. "It's working," Ben said in amazement. But then something unexpected happened. As Jake's blood mixed with the princess's alien blood, both of them began to glow with a soft, warm light. The light grew brighter and brighter until Ben had to look away. When the light faded, Princess Lyra sat up on the bed. She looked completely healthy, stronger than before. But Jake felt dizzy and weak. "What just happened?" Ben asked. "Princess," Lyra stared at her hands in wonder. "I feel different, stronger, like I could run for miles or lift a mountain." She looked at Jake with gratitude and something else, a strange connection that neither of them understood. "Thank you," she said. "You saved my life. But I think you may have changed both of our lives forever." Jake nodded, still feeling the strange connection to the alien princess. He had wanted to save one life, but he had no idea that this simple act of kindness would change the fate of entire worlds. 3 days had passed since Jake saved Princess Lyra's life. The alien princess was now staying in the medical bay of the New Horizon, while Captain Amy Foster tried to figure out what to do next. Jake sat next to Lyra's bed, watching her with amazement. She was not just healthy now, she was something more than healthy. Yesterday she had accidentally bent a metal chair with her bare hands. This morning a small cut on her finger had healed completely in just 5 minutes. "I still can't believe it worked," Jake said. "Neither can I," Lyra replied. Her English was getting better every day. "In all the history of my people, no one has ever recovered from the silent death. But your blood didn't just cure me, it made me stronger." Dr. Helen Brooks, the ship's science officer, entered the medical bay carrying a tablet full of test results. She looked excited and worried at the same time. "I've been studying the blood samples from both of you," Dr. Brooks said. "What I found is incredible. Jake, your blood doesn't just work with Princess Lyra's blood. It seems to work with any alien blood I've tested it against." "What do you mean?" Jake asked. "I mean human blood is somehow compatible with every alien species we know about. That should be impossible. Different species from different planets should have completely different blood types." Princess Lyra sat up straighter. "Are you saying that humans are special somehow?" "Very special," Dr. Brooks said. "But there's more. Princess, your blood has changed too. It's stronger and heals faster, just like your body. But Jake's blood has also changed." Jake felt a chill run down his back. "Changed how?" "Your reflexes are faster. Your healing is better. And both of you seem to have developed some kind of mental connection." It was true. Jake had noticed that he could sometimes sense what Princess Lyra was feeling. When she was sad about her dead guards, he felt sad too. When she was angry about her uncle's betrayal, Jake felt that anger as well. Is this dangerous? Jake asked. I don't know, Doctor, Brooks said honestly. I've never seen anything like this before. Captain Amy Foster entered the medical bay with Commander Ben Hayes behind her. Amy looked serious. Princess Lyra, Amy said. We've received a message from your people. Your father, the Emperor, wants to know if you're alive. Princess Lyra stood up quickly. What did you tell him? Nothing yet. We wanted to talk to you first. But Princess, there's something else. We've also received messages from something called the Krillian Confederacy. They're offering us a lot of money to turn you over to them. Princess Lyra's face turned angry. The Krillians are working with my uncle. They want to kill me and take over my father's empire. We're not going to turn you over to anyone, Amy said firmly. But we need to make a decision soon. We can't hide out here forever. Suddenly, the ship's alarms began ringing. Commander Hayes grabbed his communication device. Captain, we have 3 ships approaching fast, came a voice over the radio. They're not human ships. Everyone rushed to the bridge. On the main screen, Jake could see 3 dark ships moving toward them. They looked mean and dangerous with sharp edges and weapons pointed forward. Those are Krillian warships, Princess Lyra said with fear in her voice. How did they find us? Amy asked. They must have been tracking my ship, Lyra said. They followed the trail here. The largest Krillian ship sent them a message. A voice speaking rough English came through the speakers. Human ship, you are carrying stolen property of the Krillian Confederacy. Give us the Zephyrian female, and we will let you live. Amy looked at Princess Lyra, then at Jake. What do you want to do, Princess? I won't let them hurt your people because of me, Lyra said sadly. Maybe I should go with them. No, Jake said firmly. That's not happening. Amy smiled. Jake is right. We don't give up our friends to bullies. The Krillian voice came again. You have 5 minutes to decide, humans. Then we will take her by force. Captain, Commander Hayes said, we can't fight 3 warships. Our ship isn't built for combat. Amy was quiet for a moment, thinking hard. Then she turned to Jake and Princess Lyra. You two have been changed by whatever happened during the blood transfusion. Do you think that might help us in a fight? Jake looked at Princess Lyra. Through their strange connection, he could feel her thoughts. She was scared, but she was also angry and ready to fight. I think so, Jake said. I feel faster and stronger than before, and Princess Lyra is definitely much stronger. Then let's see what humans and Zephyrians can do together, Amy said. The Krillian ships began moving closer. Weapon ports opened on their hulls, ready to fire. All crew, prepare for battle, Amy announced over the ship's speakers. Jake felt his heart beating fast, but he wasn't afraid. Something inside him had changed. He felt ready for anything. Princess Lyra stood beside him. Jake, I can feel what you're feeling. You're not scared. Neither are you, Jake replied. Together we're stronger than apart, she said. The first Krillian ship fired its weapons. Bright energy beams shot toward the new horizon. But Jake and Princess Lyra both knew exactly when and where the ship would be hit. Without speaking, they both ran to help repair the damage. Jake found that he could work twice as fast as normal. His hands moved quickly and surely, fixing broken cables and damaged systems. Princess Lyra lifted heavy metal plates that should have required 3 people to move. This is impossible, Dr. Brooks said, watching them work. It's like you both know exactly what needs to be done. The Krillian ships fired again. This time, Jake and Princess Lyra were ready. Working together, they managed to keep the ship's systems running even under heavy attack. Captain, Commander Hayes called out. A Zephyrian ship just appeared on our sensors. It's big, and it's coming this way fast. On the main screen, a beautiful purple ship appeared. It was much larger than the Krillian ships and looked like a floating palace. That's my father's ship, Princess Lyra said with joy in her voice. The Zephyrian ship immediately began attacking the Krillian vessels. The battle was fierce, with energy beams flying in all directions. During the fight, something amazing happened. Jake noticed that he and Princess Lyra could predict exactly what each other would do. When she moved left, he moved right. When he grabbed a tool, she was already handing him the part he needed. "It's like you're reading each other's minds," Dr. Brooks said in wonder. "Maybe we are," Jake said. "This connection between us is getting stronger." The battle ended when the Krillian ships retreated. Princess Lyra's father had saved them, but Jake knew this was only the beginning of something much bigger. "Princess," Amy said, "your father is asking permission to come aboard our ship." Princess Lyra looked at Jake. "Are you ready to meet the Emperor of the Zephyrian Empire?" Jake smiled. "After everything that's happened, I think I'm ready for anything." But deep inside, Jake knew that his simple act of kindness had started something that would change not just his life but the lives of everyone in the galaxy. The connection between him and Princess Lyra was growing stronger every day, and he had no idea where it would lead them. Emperor Darthon Veltar was not what Jake had expected. The ruler of the Zephyrian Empire was tall and strong, like his daughter, but his purple skin was darker and covered with scars from old battles. His eyes were the same bright blue as Princess Lyra's, but they looked tired and worried. "My daughter tells me that you saved her life," the Emperor said to Jake. They were meeting in the main meeting room of the New Horizon. Princess Lyra stood beside her father, while Captain Amy and Dr. Brooks represented the human crew. "I just did what any doctor would do," Jake said simply. The Emperor studied Jake carefully. "She also tells me that you risked your own life to help a complete stranger. That is not something any doctor would do. That is something special." "Your daughter is special too, Your Majesty," Jake said. "She's braver than most soldiers I've known." Princess Lyra smiled at Jake. Through their connection, he could feel her happiness at his words. "There is something we must discuss," the Emperor said seriously. "My daughter is no longer the same person she was before. She is stronger, faster, and heals quicker than any Zephyrian in our history. My doctors have examined her, and they say her blood has been changed forever." "Is that bad?" Jake asked with worry. "I don't know," the Emperor said honestly. "Change can be good or dangerous. What worries me is that my enemies will want to use this power for their own purposes." Dr. Brooks stepped forward. "Your Majesty, we've discovered something important. Human blood seems to be compatible with all alien blood. Jake's blood didn't. Just save your daughter. It could potentially help any sick alien from any species." The Emperor's eyes grew wide. "All species?" "As far as we can tell, yes," Dr. Brooks said. "This is incredible news," the Emperor said. "But it is also dangerous news. If word of this spreads, every empire in the galaxy will want to control the humans. Some will want to use you as weapons. Others will want to destroy you before you become too powerful." Jake felt a chill run down his spine. "What do you mean?" "I mean that your simple act of kindness may have changed the balance of power in the entire galaxy," the Emperor said. Suddenly, alarms began ringing throughout both ships. Commander Hayes's voice came over the speakers. "Captain Foster, we have a problem. A huge fleet of ships just appeared on our sensors. I count at least 50 vessels from different species." Everyone rushed to the bridge. The main screen showed an amazing and frightening sight. Ships of all different shapes and colors floated in space around them. Some were long and thin like the Zephyrian ships. Others were round like bubbles. A few looked like giant metal spiders. "It's a Galactic Council fleet," Emperor Darthon said with concern. "They must have heard about what happened." "What's the Galactic Council?" Jake asked. Princess Lyra answered. "It's a group of the oldest and most powerful species in the galaxy. They make rules that everyone has to follow. They keep peace between different empires." A new voice came through the ship's communication system. It was deep and strange, unlike any human voice. "Attention, human vessel and Zephyrian ship. You will follow our escort to Council Station 7. The Galactic Council requires immediate answers about the biological weapon you have created." "Biological weapon?" Jake said with shock. "I just saved someone's life." "They don't see it that way," the Emperor said sadly. "They see a human who can make any alien stronger and more dangerous. To them, that's a weapon. Captain Amy made the decision. We'll go with them. We have nothing to hide. The journey to Council Station 7 took 2 days. During that time, Jake noticed that his connection with Princess Lyra was getting even stronger. He could now hear some of her thoughts and she could hear his. Dr. Brooks said their brain patterns were becoming similar. Is this normal? Jake asked Dr. Brooks. Nothing about this situation is normal, she replied. You two are becoming something new. I don't know if you're becoming more human, more Zephyrian, or something else entirely. Council Station 7 was the biggest structure Jake had ever seen. It was like a metal city floating in space, with docking ports for thousands of ships. As their ship approached, Jake saw aliens of dozens of different species walking around inside the station through large windows. I've never seen so many different types of aliens, Jake said to Princess Lyra. Neither have I, she replied. Some of these species are so old and powerful that even my father has never met them. When they docked at the station, they were met by council guards. These were tall, thin aliens with gray skin and 4 arms. They escorted Jake, Princess Lyra, Captain Amy, and Emperor Darthon through long corridors filled with strange artwork and alien writing. The council chamber was enormous. Hundreds of different aliens sat in curved rows, all looking down at a small platform in the center. Jake felt very small and scared as he walked to the platform with the others. At the highest point in the chamber sat the council chairman. He was unlike any alien Jake had seen before. His skin looked like it was made of living stone and his eyes glowed with white light. I am Chairman Vorthak, the stone alien said. His voice seemed to come from everywhere at once. I am 5,000 years old, and I have seen many dangerous things in my long life, but never have I seen anything as potentially dangerous as what you have done, human Jake Morrison. Jake's heart was beating fast, but he stood up straight. I saved someone's life. How is that dangerous? Because, Chairman Vorthak said, you have proven that humans possess the ability to enhance any alien species. In the wrong hands, this power could be used to create armies of super soldiers. Wars could be fought with enhanced warriors that no normal being could defeat. Princess Lyra stepped forward. But that's not what happened. Jake saved me because it was the right thing to do. He didn't ask for anything in return. Perhaps, the chairman said. But intentions can change. Power corrupts even the best people. Emperor Darthon spoke up. Chairman Vorthak, my daughter is living proof that this power can be used for good. She is stronger and better than before, but she is still kind and caring. That may be true now, the chairman said. But what happens when other humans learn of this ability? What happens when they start enhancing entire armies? Jake felt angry. You're judging all humans based on fear of what might happen. We're not all warmongers. Most of us just want to live in peace and help others. The chairman was quiet for a long moment. Then he said something that shocked everyone. You speak of peace and helping others, human Jake Morrison. But do you know where humans really came from? What do you mean? Jake asked. I mean that humans are not originally from the planet you call Earth, the chairman said. You are something much more special and much more dangerous than you know. Jake felt Princess Lyra grab his hand. Through their connection, he could feel her shock and confusion. What are you talking about? Jake asked. Chairman Vorthak stood up slowly. His glowing eyes looked directly at Jake. It is time you learned the truth about your species, human, and why the galaxy has been waiting for you to appear for over 50,000 years. Jake felt like the ground was moving under his feet, even though he was standing on solid metal. What do you mean humans aren't from Earth? Chairman Vorthak moved slowly down from his high seat. The other council members watched in silence. Jake had never seen so many different alien faces all looking at him at once. 50,000 years ago, the chairman began, there was a species called the Architects. They were the most advanced beings the galaxy had ever seen. They could create planets, move stars, and design new forms of life. Princess Lyra squeezed Jake's hand tighter. Through their connection, he could feel her amazement and fear. The Architects had a dream, Vorthak continued. They wanted to create a species that could bring peace to the galaxy, a species whose biology would be compatible with all other life forms. They called this project the Bridge Builder Template. Bridge builders? Jake asked. Yes, beings who could connect different species, heal their diseases, and help them understand each other. The architects spent thousands of years developing this template. Dr. Brooks stepped forward. You're saying humans were designed by aliens? Not just any aliens, Vorthak replied. The most advanced species in galactic history. Humans were meant to be living bridges between all other forms of life. Emperor Darthon looked shocked. But what happened to these architects? They died out before they could complete their project, Vorthak said sadly. A great war destroyed their civilization, but before they died, they sent several ships carrying the human genetic template to different parts of the galaxy. Most of these ships were lost or destroyed. Only one reached its destination safely. Earth, Jake whispered. Yes. Earth was chosen, because it was far from the galactic center, where the war was raging. The ship carrying your ancestors crash-landed on Earth and was buried deep underground. Your people developed naturally from there, forgetting their true origin. Jake's mind was spinning. So we're not really human. You are completely human, Vorthak said. But you are also something more. You are what the architects hoped you would become. Your blood compatibility with all alien species is not an accident. It's part of your design. Princess Lyra spoke up. But if humans were designed to help other species, why are you afraid of them? Vorthak looked at her with his glowing eyes. Because power can be used for good or evil, Princess. The same blood that can heal can also be used to create weapons. The same compatibility that can bring peace can be used to control others. Suddenly, alarms began ringing throughout the station. A council guard rushed into the chamber and whispered something to Chairman Vorthak. The chairman's stone face looked worried. What is it? Emperor Darthon asked. Duke Vexmore, your brother, has arrived with a large Krillian fleet, Vorthak announced. They are demanding that we turn over Princess Lyra and the human Jake Morrison. Princess Lyra's face filled with anger. My uncle will never stop hunting me. He wants the throne, and now he wants Jake's blood to create an army of enhanced Krillian soldiers. How many ships does he have? Captain Amy asked. Over 200 warships, the council guard reported. Jake felt fear run through everyone in the room. That was a huge fleet, much bigger than the council's defense force. There's more, Vorthak said grimly. Duke Vexmore has sent a message to the entire galaxy. He has told every empire about human blood compatibility. By now, dozens of species are sending fleets here. Why would he do that? Jake asked. Emperor Darthon answered with disgust. Because he knows it will start a war. In the chaos of battle, he thinks he can capture both you and my daughter. Dr. Brooks looked at her scanner readings. Jake, I'm detecting something strange. Your connection with Princess Lyra is getting stronger by the hour. Your brain patterns are almost identical now. Princess Lyra looked at Jake with concern. I can hear your thoughts clearly now, and you can hear mine. It was true. Jake could sense exactly what Princess Lyra was thinking and feeling. It was like having another person living inside his mind, but it didn't feel strange or wrong. It felt natural. This is what the architects intended, Vorthak said with wonder. True connection between species, but it requires great sacrifice from both beings. What kind of sacrifice? Jake asked. The human becomes partly alien and the alien becomes partly human. You are both changing into something new, something that has never existed before. Alarms rang again, louder this time. Through the station's windows, Jake could see hundreds of ships appearing in space. Some were Krillian warships, dark and threatening. Others belonged to species Jake had never seen before. The galaxy is coming here, Captain Amy said quietly. Some to capture Jake, others to destroy him before he becomes too powerful. Princess Lyra stood up straight, looking every bit the royal princess she was born to be. Then we'll have to show them that they're wrong about humans. How? Jake asked. By proving that human power is meant to help, not hurt, she said firmly. Vorthak looked at both of them carefully. There is a way to test this. But it is very dangerous for both of you. What is it? Jake asked. During the battle that is about to begin, Injured aliens from many different species will be brought to this station's medical center. If you, Jake Morrison, are willing to donate your blood to save aliens who came here to capture or kill you, it would prove that humans truly are the bridge builders the architects intended. Jake thought about this. Many of the aliens outside wanted to hurt him. Some wanted to use him as a weapon. Others wanted to kill him to prevent him from becoming powerful. But they were still living beings who could be hurt and could die. "I'll do it," Jake said without hesitation. Princess Lyra smiled at him through their mental connection. "I knew you would say that. That's why I—" She stopped herself. "Why you what?" Jake asked. "Why I love you," she said simply. Jake felt his heart skip a beat. Through their connection he could feel that she meant it, and he realized that he loved her too. Emperor Darthon looked at his daughter with surprise, then at Jake with respect. "Young human, you have won my daughter's heart and earned my trust, but the battle ahead will test everything you believe about yourself and your species." The first explosions could be heard echoing through the station as enemy ships began their attack. Jake looked at Princess Lyra, at her father, at Captain Amy, and at Chairman Vorthak. "Then let's show the galaxy what humans and Zephyrians can do together," Jake said. But as the battle began, Jake had no idea that the choices he would make in the next few hours would determine not just his own fate, but the future of every living being in the galaxy. The battle for Council Station 7 was unlike anything Jake had ever imagined. Through the station's thick windows he could see hundreds of ships firing weapons at each other. Bright energy beams lit up the darkness of space like deadly fireworks. Jake ran through the station's corridors toward the medical center, carrying his medical bag and emergency blood transfusion equipment. Princess Lyra ran beside him, her enhanced strength allowing her to carry heavy medical supplies that would normally require 3 people. "The medical center is full of wounded aliens from at least 12 different species," Dr. Brooks said, running behind them. "Some are Council defenders, but others are from the attacking fleets." "It doesn't matter which side they're on," Jake said firmly. "Wounded people need help." When they reached the medical center, Jake stopped in shock. The large room was full of aliens he had never seen before. Some had green skin and looked like giant lizards. Others were covered in fur and had 6 arms. A few looked almost like humans but had silver skin and no hair. All of them were hurt. All of them were in pain. "Jake," Dr. Brooks said quietly, "if you give blood to all of these different species, it might kill you. Your body can't make blood fast enough to save this many people." Jake looked around the room. Through his connection with Princess Lyra, he could feel her worry for his safety. But he could also feel her pride in his decision. "Then I'll save as many as I can," Jake said. He started with the most seriously wounded alien, a green lizard-like being whose arm had been badly burned. Jake set up his transfusion equipment and began giving the alien his blood. Something amazing happened. As soon as Jake's blood entered the alien's system, not only did the burn begin to heal, but the alien became stronger and more alert than before. Other wounded aliens saw this and began asking for help too. Jake moved from patient to patient, giving each one a small amount of his blood. With every transfusion, the aliens became healthier and stronger, but Jake was getting weaker. "Jake, you have to stop," Princess Lyra said with tears in her eyes. "You're killing yourself to save aliens who were trying to capture you an hour ago." "Look at them," Jake said, pointing around the room. Princess Lyra looked. The aliens Jake had helped were now helping other wounded aliens. The green lizard being was carrying a furry 6-armed creature to a medical bed. A silver-skinned humanoid was sharing his food with a wounded Krillian soldier. "They're working together," Princess Lyra whispered in amazement. "Jake's blood isn't just healing their bodies," Dr. Brooks said with wonder. "It's connecting their minds, just like it connected you and Jake. They're starting to understand each other." Chairman Vorthak entered the medical center, moving carefully on his stone legs. Behind him came Emperor Darthon and Captain Amy. All 3 leaders looked amazed at what they saw. "This is impossible," Vorthak said. "Species that have been enemies for thousands of years are helping each other." "It's not impossible," Jake said weakly. He was very pale now from losing so much blood. "It's what the architects always planned." Humans were meant to help different species understand each other. Suddenly, Duke Vexmore burst into the medical center with a group of Krillian soldiers. Princess Lyra's uncle looked angry and desperate. "There he is," Duke Vexmore shouted, pointing at Jake. "The human who can make anyone into a super soldier. I need his blood to create an army." The aliens Jake had helped immediately stood up to protect him, the green lizard being stepped forward. "This human saved my life," the lizard being said in rough English. "I will not let you hurt him." "Neither will I," said the silver-skinned humanoid. "Or I," added the six-armed furry creature. Duke Vexmore looked shocked. "You're all from different species. You should be enemies, not allies." "We were enemies," the lizard being said. "But this human's blood showed us something better. It showed us that we are all more similar than different." Princess Lyra stepped forward to face her uncle. Jake could feel through their connection that she was no longer the scared young woman who had fled the assassination attempt. She was now a leader. "Uncle Vexmore," she said with authority, "your plan has failed. You wanted to use human blood to create weapons, but instead, it has created peace." "I am still your uncle," Vexmore shouted. "You will obey me." "No," Princess Lyra said calmly. "I am no longer just a Zephyrian princess. Thanks to Jake, I am something new, something better. And I choose peace over war." Emperor Darthon stepped beside his daughter. "My brother, you have brought war to the galaxy for your own selfish desires. But look around you. This human has shown us a better way." The battle outside was ending. Through the windows, Jake could see that the fighting had stopped. Ships that had been enemies were now helping each other rescue wounded crew members. Chairman Vorthak made an announcement that echoed throughout the station. "The Galactic Council officially recognizes humanity as a bridge builder species. Humans will be given special protection and the right to travel freely throughout the galaxy as healers and peacekeepers." Duke Vexmore realized his plan had completely failed. His own soldiers were putting down their weapons, affected by the peaceful atmosphere that Jake's actions had created. But Jake was in serious trouble. He had given too much blood to too many aliens. He was dying. Princess Lyra knelt beside him as he collapsed. "Jake, stay with me," she said, tears running down her purple cheeks. "I'm glad I could help," Jake whispered weakly. Princess Lyra made a decision that shocked everyone. She took the transfusion equipment and connected it to herself and Jake, but in reverse. "What are you doing?" Dr. Brooks asked. "Jake gave me his blood to save my life," Princess Lyra said. "Now I'm giving him back his enhanced blood to save his life. But this time, we'll share it equally." The transfusion began. Jake's blood now, enhanced with Princess Lyra's alien biology, flowed back into his body. At the same time, Princess Lyra received more of Jake's blood with its bridge-building properties. Both of them began to glow with the same warm light that had appeared during their first transfusion. When the light faded, they were both healthy and strong, but they were also permanently connected. "How do you feel?" Dr. Brooks asked. Jake and Princess Lyra looked at each other and smiled. They could hear each other's thoughts clearly now, but they were still themselves. "Perfect," they said at exactly the same time. Emperor Darthon embraced his daughter and then Jake. "My son," he said to Jake, "for that is what you are now. You have brought peace to the galaxy." Chairman Vorthak approached them. "Jake Morrison and Princess Lyra, the Galactic Council offers you both a special mission. Will you travel the galaxy, together using your unique abilities to heal the sick and bring peace between warring species?" Jake looked at Princess Lyra through their shared connection. He could see their future together, visiting distant worlds, helping alien species understand each other, and building bridges of friendship across the stars. "Yes," Jake said, speaking for both of them. "We accept." Captain Amy smiled proudly at Jake. "Looks like you won't be coming back to the cargo ship with us." "The cargo ship taught me how to help people," Jake said gratefully. "But now I can help people across the entire galaxy." 6 months later, Jake and Princess Lyra were aboard their own ship, traveling to a distant planet where 2 alien species had been at war for 100 years. They had already visited 15 worlds. healing diseases that had been considered incurable and helping enemies become friends. "Do you ever regret giving me your blood that first day?" Princess Lyra asked Jake as they watched the stars pass by their ship's windows. Jake took her hand and smiled. Through their connection, she could feel his complete happiness. "Never," he said. "That was the best decision I ever made." "Even though it changed your entire life?" "It didn't change my life," Jake said. "It gave me the life I was always meant to have." As their ship approached another world full of beings who needed their help, Jake thought about how one simple act of kindness had led to this moment. He had just wanted to save one life, but instead, he had helped save the entire galaxy. And this was only the beginning.